How fast is fast at Indianapolis? Well, in 1911, fast was 74 miles an hour, the average speed of Ray Haroon's winning car. But 74 years later, fast is 212 miles per hour, the 4-lap average of Pancho Carter as he qualifies. Pancho Carter, winner of the pole position at age 34, has finished in the top 10 here 6 times. His father finished 4th 33 years ago. Pancho won the pole with a Buick V6 engine, and a Buick won the 2nd spot, too. 26-year-old Scott Brayton came here sponsored only by his family's finances, but picked up more sponsors when the speed of his car became apparent. With his talent and good looks, he has to be Coldwater, Michigan's most eligible bachelor. On the outside of the first row, you'll see this car driven by 32-year-old Bobby Rahal of Dublin, Ohio, just outside Columbus. Rahal finished 7th last year. He's an intelligent, articulate college graduate who looked as at home in his dinner clothes the night before last at a charity ball as he does in his flame-proof coveralls behind the wheel of his race car. That, then, is the first row. This is Mario Andretti with his baby son Michael not so many years ago. Today, father and son are competitors. Mario, the pre-race favorite, starting on the inside of row 2 at age 45. This is Mario's 20th start here. He won just once, 16 years ago. Another father and son also face off as adversaries here. The Al Unsers, Sr. and Jr. of Albuquerque, New Mexico. Al Sr. is a 3-time winner. His brother Bobby also won the great race 3 times. And now comes the next generation. The face behind that mask is still the face of a kid, although Al Jr. is a 23-year-old husband and father. There's a brother act in this year's race. Don and Bill Whittington of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Don, the elder by 3 years, seems to have the better chance. He inherited the car of former winner Gordon Johncock when Johncock suddenly retired. Don Whittington will sit on the outside of row 2. Rick Mears is the defending champion, but will have to move up from 10th starting position. At age 33, he has already won the 500 twice. Unlike most drivers, Rick found his road to the top in sprint buggies and off-road racing. It was a rugged introduction to the sport. Since then, he has found that there are good days and bad. Good days, like the celebration after last year's victory, but bad days too. Later last season, his feet were crushed in an accident. He spent painful months in the hospital, and today will limp to the car in his first race of 1985. Tom Sneva, too, knows about good days and bad. 3 times he has sat on the pole. 2 years ago, he won the race. But in 1975, this was the end of his day. A wild, terrifying crash just under the luxury suites in turn 2. A crash from which, miraculously, he emerged with minor injuries. Now at age 36, Tom Sneva tries again. He has traveled a long way from his original profession of school teacher, a long way from the halls of Ivy to the walls of Indy. Daniel John Sullivan III was born in Louisville 35 years ago, a talented driver, but is better known as the bon vivant of the circuit, more in the mold of the glamorous Grand Prix drivers of another time than the computer-driven technicians of today. And then there is AJ FOYT, the epitome of everything that is Indy, the only 4-time winner of the race, competing for the 28th time at age 50. This was his wildest win. AJ threading his way through wrecked cars and smoke on the final turn of the final lap, a breathtaking moment, but AJ made it. Dwight Eisenhower was president when AJ first came here. He endured, driver, chief mechanic, a jack of all racing trades in an era of specialization. A 3-time winner just made it to the 10th row this year. Johnny Rutherford, Lone Star JR, had to bump the slowest car in the final hour of qualifying last Sunday to make the race. Old champs versus young, brother against brother, father against son in the world's most famous motor race. ABC Sports presents the Indianapolis 500.